It's been over 6 years since Marvel's Spider-Man dropped on the PlayStation 4, and while that's a great game, I think that it deserves to give some credit to where it took a lot of its inspiration from, the granddaddy of all Spider-Man games. That being Neversoft Spider-Man, otherwise known as Spider-Man 2000 or Spider-Man 64 or Spider-Man PS1 or
I'm already at full health.
I remember playing this game first on the PlayStation 1 as a kid, but today we're going to be playing it on the PC, which released in 2001, so I guess it could be called Spider-Man 2001 as well. This game was released at what I like to call the golden age of Spider-Man. There was truly never a better time to be a Spider-Man fan than the early 2000s. A magical time indeed. And you may be thinking that this is just, another old Spider-Man game. This is nothing special, but I am telling you this is the definitive Spider-Man game to play. If you're a Spider-Man fan and you haven't played this game, you need to right now. Despite all of its flaws, it's perfect. I'm going to be running this game with the Spider-Man 2099 costume because you viewing this video right now is a canon event. Our story begins at Science Expo 2000 where Dr. Otto Octavius is making a speech about how he's gonna use his smarts for the good of mankind. He's a changed man this time, guys. Trust me, he is. He's changed. He's not the same Doc Ock that you and I both know and love. When all of a sudden Spider-Man comes to steal Doc's inventions. But of course, it's not really Spider-Man because he's right here. He even tells us it himself.
Last time I checked, I was bitch.
So yeah, this one's just an imposter. Now I have a question for you, right? Everybody knows who Doc Ock is, right? They know that he's the guy that put 4 arms on him and locked himself in and went kind of cuckoo and almost destroyed the city a couple times. I understand that he said, I'm a changed man, this time, guys, that's fine. But everybody knows he still has the arms, right? Did they think that he just removed them? They're fine. They're not there anymore. We don't have to worry about them. Why wasn't the first thought of everybody hey, why isn't Doc Ock stopping that guy with his arms? Why isn't he, being like... Now, I understand why he didn't, but why is nobody questioning it? But I don't know, maybe they don't know Doc Ock like, Peter does, like how he says it here.
Nice words, Octavius. If these executives knew you the way I do, I wonder if they'd be so quick to applaud.
I don't know, it's just a bit silly is all. Hey, by the way, Venom is here and he's having a panic attack because Spider-Man broke his little camera. And before you know it, her brother is throwing up Venom. And now Venom is here, yay! He's a pretty integral part to the story, and frankly, he's the first thing I thought of when I went to go see the Venom movie in theaters for the first time.
Venom is here. I am Venom.
Voice is pretty damn close, so it's my headcanon that they were inspired by this game. Afterwards, we're given a glimpse of the main bad guys, and I wonder who they could be. I don't know yet. Not enough information to work with. So these dudes unleash a weird fog across the entire city, which was the developer's clever way of working with the limitations of old hardware, which is really awesome, honestly. Making the limitations of the hardware into a story element of the game, perfect. I love that kind of creativity. And honestly, it works great. It gives you a reason why whenever Spider-Man falls off the building, he, is in terror. So yeah, that's a little setup for the story, after which we get a little introduction to the game from Stan Lee himself, where he hypes us up for the action about to take place. In our first mission, we get from Black Cat, who basically tells us, hey, I know you're going through some shit right now, but the bank is being robbed, so better get on that, mister. Black Cat, if you don't know, is a cat burglar. That's why she's named Black Cat. She robs banks and she robs everything. So why she's telling us to go stop a bank robbery instead of going and joining the fun herself, I don't know.
Stop looking too far into it!
Now, the mechanics of the game are pretty straightforward. Press a button to swing and he'll give you 2 good swings before his arms get tired. There's simple combos that you can do with punches and kicks, and of course some web powers that you can use to mix things up a little bit in combat. There's also web zipping, which makes vertical and horizontal movements much easier and quicker, which will become incredibly important later. Trust me, if you don't learn web zipping by the time the end of the game rolls around, you're not beating it. You're just not beating it. And the first level is 30 seconds long. You really don't have to do anything except swing past everything to the last building, which is what I normally do, which is what speedrunners normally do too, but they're much better at it. If you haven't seen a Spider-Man speedrun, They're insane. They're wacky. And we finally reach the bank where the police are responding to the bank robbery while being on the lookout for Spider-Man himself. Mind you, these bank robbers have a whole ass attack helicopter and the police think they're standing a chance by giving them the whole "freeze, mister!" New York's finest, everyone. Kick the bad guys' booties, get into the bank through the exploding glass. They really should probably get that checked out. I should probably mention something that I forgot to do before playing this game, and something that you should know about why my gameplay is acting very wonky. You see, Spider-Man 2000 doesn't run well on newer hardware, going 60 frames per second, if really anything over 30. That's because this was during a time when frame rates were tied to games very heavily, as in the faster the frame rate, the faster the game ran. You might have noticed how lightning fast Spider-Man hopped into the vent here, and that's basically why. Now, I've had success at running this game at like 25 to 30 frames per second, which is what the original PlayStation 1 ran at anyways, but I thought it would be funnier for the video if I just left the frame rate as it is. I didn't change it. I'll slowly end up regretting it. Like this moment when I dropped into the room in the bank and without a moment's notice, the robber started shooting me in the middle of a cutscene. Or this moment when the hostage died before even being shot.
No.
So anyways, we stop the robbers, throw the big ass bomb into the vault, and save the day. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention they have a bomb and they were planning to blow up the building. How did they manage to get the bomb in there? I don't know. It's my headcanon that they actually had enough time to take each individual piece into the bank and build it up piece by piece because the NYPD is so incompetent. But let's think for a second. Any building with a glass hatch to their ventilation system, it probably should be blown up anyways. So now we gotta rescue J.K. Simmons from Scorpion. Now here's a neat Scorpion fact. The dude who played Mac Gargan, that's Scorpion's real name, in the Spider-Man Homecoming movie is the same dude who played Nacho Varga in Better Call Saul and Voss in Far Cry 3. And I originally skipped this cutscene when I got to this level, but it turns out if you do, Scorpion will just automatically kill J. Jonah Jameson and throw him out the window. So yeah, you're stuck watching this cutscene. Anyways, we kick his ass super easy. Next level. JJ is super ungrateful, and you know, whenever we try to be like, hey, listen, we just saved you from a super villain, the cops come and try to shoot us on sight. Pretty nuts. So we're running for the cops, and that'll last a whole 5 levels, I swear to God. And this helicopter pilot really wants to kill me. Mind you, he's not supposed to be shooting this fast.
That was close.
Playing on the wrong frame rate is kind of fun because it offers a little bit of a challenge. Like, you gotta have a spider sense to be able to react as quickly as I can.
Peter Tingle. Please do not start calling it my Peter Tingle.
But these levels don't really fare very well either, because right as I got to the end of the level, I died because Spider-Man bugs out hard and you can't do anything about it here. Yeah, what am I supposed to do now? Here's what's supposed to happen. So you know what I did? I skipped it. Skipped the level, went on to the next one. Because from the get-go, I went ahead and put in the cheat code leanest, and that's how I was able to unlock everything, and that's why I'm currently playing with the Spider-Man 2099 costume, which offers more strength. But this level is also bugged at the beginning because Spider-Man is supposed to swing to the next building, but he's falling so quickly that he just gets stuck in an endless loop of falling.
I have been falling for 30 minutes!
It wasn't until I started pushing the swing button super fast that the game decided, oh, that's right, you're supposed to be on the building, stupid. And then everything was fine. It was fine. Level is normal. So we evaded the cops and the helicopter hits a tower and runs away with its tail between its legs. Incompetency is a key aspect of the NYPD. And now we get to face Rhino. Oh, would you look at that? Rhino is already attacking me in the middle of a cutscene. Classic Rhino move. Now, the goal is to make Rhino run into either the exploding barrels or the electric pillars, but you see that doesn't actually work, because high frame rate Rhino is actually pretty smart. He'll stop just before getting to the barrels and already charged up and ready to run. He knows Spider-Man's tricks by now. He's done this a couple of times. But if you do manage to make him run into the electric pillars, it turns out he'll just get stuck, which makes him invincible. And if you do try to attack him, it'll just electrocute you instead. So what other choice did I have but to die and restart? There was no other choice. Funny thing is, when I did die, Rhino decided to just pull himself out of the pillar like nothing ever happened. Classic Rhino move. Alright, so what's the fix for this one, McNilo? It's called going to the next level. This level is about chasing Venom to his hideout because he's captured Mary Jane as baits to get Spider-Man's attention so he can kill him. This chase used to be the bane of my existence as a kid. I would always lose Venom for whatever reason. I guess I just wasn't that good as a kid. It's funny looking back on it now and listening to Venom talk all this shit when I'm clearly beating him. Now, this building is probably the most popular fast frame rate bug because it seems like a lot of people get it, which is where most people go online to find out, hey, why is he doing this stupid thing? Whenever you exit the building, Spider-Man will just turn to the right and continue running into the wall, and sometimes he'll turn completely around and run the opposite direction, which he's not supposed to do, obviously. Mind you, this will nearly always make you lose to Venom. You'll end up losing him in the chase, unless you're quick enough to recover from Spider-Man's lack of spatial awareness. But I really can't blame him. Did you hear how fast he fell down those stairs?
Watch that first step. It's a doozy.
Ow! Head! Oh, toe, ow!
So yeah, this section right here is where I always lost Venom as a kid, but I got it down just fine.
If you want to fight, follow me.
Oh, dying at the end of the level? Classic Spider-Man move. So we beat up Venom and now we're in the sewer. Man, we have so much left to go. This game felt really short playing it, but I think we're only like halfway through. The sewer is actually pretty cool and a nice change of pace from the city with the fog, but I'm really not a fan of the lizardmen if I'm being honest. Sorry, I know they're cute, but I don't like them. They're stupid. No, it has nothing to do with them spitting on me all the time. I can get past that. After taking the subway to the next area, getting clowned on by Venom, we are floating for a whole second, and wouldn't you know it, there's more lizards. Also, if you're playing this game on normal or harder like I am, just remember to wait for the water to drain in these areas, otherwise you'll drown in like 2 feet of water. And now the next few sections are what I like to call the puzzle sections of the sewer, which seemed a lot more difficult as a kid for some reason. I don't know. I completed this in like 20 seconds. Anyways, time to rescue Mary Jane finally.
Mary Jane!
Gotcha.
Her hand should be 100% broken. So after beating up Venom, he tells us, hey bro, you stole Doc Ock's thingamabopper, and Spider-Man was like, hey stupid, we literally bumped into each other in the crowd, and Venom is like,
I guess I forgot.
so now Venom is our friend, and that's pretty cool. And back to the Daily Bugle we go to use J. Jonah Jameson's computer database. Hopefully we'll be able to find some answers as to what's going on, how do we stop the fog, what do we even end up doing? Luckily for us, the Bugle is filled with the worst enemy in the entire game.
The symbiotes.
And no, they're not bad because of the frame rate, they're actually just a bad enemy. Web attacks don't do anything to them unless you have the fire web cartridges, and these dudes pack a punch. When you're going down into the basement of the Bugle, you get ganged up by a whole bunch of them, and it's just annoying because these things take a lot to kill. They're resilient, they're strong, they're plentiful, and I hate them. So let's just skip all this here, and oh, would you look at that, we bumped into the imposter, and wouldn't you know, it's actually Mysterio, and he's getting bigger. Now, mind you, we're still in the Daily Bugle, if I'm not mistaken. What is this room? What the hell is this room even for? Why does this exist in the Daily Bugle? So yeah, we beat Mysterio.
You can't trick me anymore.
Mysterio basically tells us that the fog that's been engulfing New York is preparing everyone in the city for symbiosis, which will turn them into these dudes, which I really don't need to happen. I don't need any more of these freaking things. I don't need them. So let's do whatever we can to stop them. He also caves in and tells us, okay, our secret hideout is in the warehouse, but it's too late anyways, LOL. Yeah, we'll see about that, buddy. Around this time, it almost feels like the developers were kind of like, all right, let's just wrap this up now. This is getting a little bit repetitive. Because really, we're just fighting more of these pink idiots. We're destroying more generators, the same thing that we were doing in the Bugle, and before you know it, boom, we're in the secret base. Here's my question. Why of all places did Doc Ock just, damn it, I said the name. Sorry, you weren't supposed to know who the enemy was yet. Okay, going back to my original question, why, out of all things, did they decide to unleash the symbiotes into the Bugle? Like, that was their testing spot? Because obviously they're coming from the secret base, right? Why the Bugle? Why, out of all places, why there? I don't know, maybe they're everywhere and I just don't know about it because like that was the first area that we visited. So maybe they're in a whole bunch of other buildings. Maybe that one pizza place from Spider-Man 2 is full of it. Maybe that one guy is himself a symbiote. Who knows? Anyways, past all the lasers and get to the main chamber, we finally meet up with Black Cat, and now we gotta free her. I actually forgot to mention that Black Cat got captured a little while ago. Alright, back in the Rhino mission, after you defeat Rhino legitimately, Black Cat gets captured by the ambulance, but not really an ambulance. So yeah, she's been MIA this entire time, and Peter's just like, I don't know what that was. Weird. Huh. Guess we'll see her later. And just like that, we're back here. In order to free her, we basically have to close the lid on these things, spewing out all the gas, which will somehow shut off all the power and start blowing the place up. Anyways, whatever we did, it worked.
Whatever you did, it worked.
Hey, what else is a bitch for?
And now we're on to the final boss fight. Who is it? Oh, I already told you. It's, yeah, who would have guessed? It's Doc Ock and Carnage. Wow. Doc Ock fight is easy. I literally killed him on the first round, but just you wait until the next one.
Nice try!
Carnage fucking sucks. I don't know how to beat him legitimately. I've seen people where they, grab him and then kick him into the bubble and then, kind of web him there for a second. I can't do that. I don't know the controls enough for it. I didn't really bother to learn them. Carnage is hard. This dude hits like a truck and there's just no stopping him. There's no stopping Carnage wins, everyone. The idea is that you're supposed to put him into this sonic bubble here because the only thing symbiotes can get hurt by is fire and sonic sounds. But even if you're a millimeter inside of the bubble, you're screwed. You're dead. You're dead. So this entire room is trying to kill you. It sucks. It's a bad fight. I didn't like it. Carnage is very difficult. But of course I finished the level. When have I ever skipped levels? Go ahead, comment down below. Comment down below when I've skipped a level. Guarantee you can't. Never done it in this video. Never done it, period. And now this last level is by far the wildest and most iconic level in this game, arguably in the entire franchise of Spider-Man games. I'm just gonna play for you the cutscene. It's awesome. Check it out.
You are a born loser, Cletus Cassidy. Like I told Mysterio, no one can control the symbiotes. No one I've met, anyway. Take a breather, Spidey. It's over. Well, just another day in the life. Whoa! What the? Is that Ock?
Yeah. It's absolutely bonkers, dude. Monster Doc Ock is absolute nightmare fuel for any kid that's playing, especially with the noise he makes while he's chasing you. You remember when at the beginning of the video I mentioned that you better learn ziplining quick if you want to beat this thing? Now's the time, because if you don't know ziplining, you're dying. You're dying. I remember as a kid, I never really used ziplining very frequently. Like I used it for vents because my dummy old kid brain was like, I had to zipline there. This time, didn't even think about doing it. I was just regular climbing up the walls very slowly, and I kept dying, and I was like, this is impossible. I can't beat this level. But when I did figure it out as a kid, I finally managed to do it after dying 27 times, and my hands were very sweaty. So yeah, after barely making it by the skin of our teeth, we've beaten Spider-Man High Frame Rate Edition.
Yes! Oh yeah! Hey, come on, baby!
All of our friends come to rescue us along with Captain America because hell, why not? And that's Spider-Man 2000, and I honestly didn't cover a whole lot of it. Like, there's the collectible comics that you can do, there's the costumes that you can collect, there's all the artwork that you can unlock, there's the training modes, the what if mode. There's so much to do here. You'd think that this game was very small and very limited with being on the PlayStation 1. This thing offers tons of replayability, tons of extra modes for you to play. It's wonderful. Legitimately one of the greatest Spider-Man games that I have ever played in my entire life. And because of how impactful and how awesome this game was, nearly every single Spider-Man game after it has taken inspiration from it. That including Spider-Man PS4. That one was definitely by far the game that I thought took the most inspiration from Spider-Man 2000. And it was fantastic. I loved it. Definitely get yourself a copy of Spider-Man 2000. It's awesome. It's completely worth it, and you will love it.